Hello and welcome to Lesson 4 Internet Marketing in Plain English for Over 50 Entrepreneurs. Hi, my name is Richard Grahal. I'm the best selling author of The Boomerpreneur Revolution, How Baby Boomers Are Turning Their Knowledge into Profits, and I'm the founder of the Over 50 Entrepreneurs Internet Marketing Video Tutorial Program. And in this series of trainings, I've been going over the information before the internet and then talking about how this translates into after the internet. And this is all about the language that's being used by information marketers. It becomes very confusing if you don't understand the language. If you do, then it's easy to communicate. But if you don't, it's extremely difficult. But a lot of the things that are used have a basis before the internet. In fact, many of these things are still in use today. So I'm not suggesting that they're not or you shouldn't. But I wanted to build this bridge, if you will, moving from one to the other to help you to understand what it is and, of course, why you should be doing it. So in the very first lesson, I talked about something called the moment of truth, because what I'm following here in these lessons is the customers' buying cycle, the buying process, the steps that they take, and then what do you need to do in order to build your internet marketing to meet those challenges. So it begins with the moment of truth, and this is when the customer has gotten to the point where the problem has gotten bad enough that they have decided to take action in finding someone that can provide the result, either eliminate the problem or get the goal that they're searching for. And before the internet, we'd use the yellow pages and we'd try to find a company or a business that could help us. In the internet world, of course, we search online and we're using criteria. These are the words and phrases that are important to us, and these are translated into keywords. Keywords is what's used by search engines to be able to point people to your site. So they're very important. And of course, what we're after is placement. In the yellow pages, we want to be first. In a Google search or Bing, it doesn't matter. We also want to come up first, and this is where you take advantage of search engine optimization. In the yellow pages, it's called page ads. And of course, in the internet world in Google, it's called AdWords. Essentially the same concept and idea. AdWords, of course, are using keywords, so it becomes very targeted and focused. Then we talked about the virtual front door, because once the client clicks, they're coming to your virtual front door. And the virtual front door is not what's been called the website. But I don't want you to think about it in website terms. I want you to think about it as a virtual front door. And the design of that website has to have these components. It has to be niched. It needs banner, a headline, navigation, images, video, and great content. And then the last one, we talked about building your list. And that before the internet, we had sign up forms, sign up for a newsletter or get information about occasional sales. But after the internet, we talk about opt-in boxes. You opt in by giving your email address in exchange for free educational content. Before the internet, it was free information. Now, before the internet, we talked about occasional follow-up because it wasn't consistent. We would do newsletters every so often or send out flyers every so often. What you need to have is a scheduled follow-up, and that's what we talked about with autoresponders. And autoresponders is nothing but a program which contains pre-written emails that are delivered on a scheduled basis. And of course, the goal for both BTI and ATI is the same thing. We want to build a customer list. Now we're going to talk about step 4 in the customer buying process. And this is around positioning with video. This is positioning for you because people want to know that they've come to the person or the business that has the brand recognition, has the positioning of that expert as that company that can help them to get the result they're after, which is to eliminate their problem or to get the goal that they want to achieve. Now, the way it was done before the internet is through television advertising. If you wanted to sponsor a documentary or a program or get the word and build a buzz, you use television advertising. In today's world, what we use is YouTube. Now, YouTube is huge. I don't think I have to tell you that, but I want to let you know it is big. And of course, everything you put up there is free. It doesn't cost you anything. Television advertising on the other end, of course, cost a lot in order for you to do commercials. Now let's talk about the impact of YouTube versus television. And these are some amazing statistics. It exceeds 2 billion views a day. Now, this is nearly double the prime time audience of all three major U.S. broadcast networks combined. There's 24 hours of video uploaded every minute. The average person is spending 15 minutes a day on YouTube, and more videos uploaded to YouTube in 60 days than all three major U.S. networks created in 60 years. And 70% of YouTube's traffic is coming from outside of the United States. This really makes it a global play. So these are some phenomenal statistics. It's something you just cannot ignore. This is where people are going. And we know that YouTube is the second largest search engine. So let's continue our dialogue here and talk about what it was like about before the internet. The whole idea is that all we're after is getting you to sign a contract, get the deal, sign, let's move on to the next deal. But after the internet, what it's all about is education marketing. People don't want to be sold. I mean, if you're trying to use that technique, it's not going to be very effective. People are just shying away from that. They'll run to the hills if they smell it. What they're after is education marketing. The new marketing is teaching. And that's what they want. Now, there's a big difference here, is because television survived on advertisers. They need advertisers. The major networks need advertisers. We all know here in the United States with Super Bowl, the incredible amount of money advertisers will pay for a 30-second commercial because of the exposure. But the internet was not created as a free marketing. It was created for content, and that's big. That means what you have to do is educate. That's why it's so important that your content be of a how-to and information that's going to help them to get to a solution. This is very important for you to think. And if you think about it, in order to position yourself as the go-to expert in your market niche or in your business, whether it's local, national, global, it really requires you going to video and providing this content. If you think about Brian Tracy with his videos, Best Marketing Strategy, or Tony Robbins, who's talking about career, business, and life, and I can go on and list a whole bunch of them, but what I wanted you to give you the idea is that this is not a kind of thing that says, it'd be kind of nice if I had these things. No, not anymore. This is an absolute. These are the things that you need in order to be successful in your business, in your market niche, in your marketplace, to do what your competitors are not. And if they're doing that already, which they probably are, you need to get in the game. You're probably late getting to the dance. You need to get a step above them. So this is very, very important. Now, why is video important on your website? Not just on YouTube. Why is it important on your website? Well, here's the reason. Most people retain 95% of the message in a video, compared to only 10% of what they read in text. Look at that. 95% of the message in the video, they retain that compared to 10% what they read. Do I need to say anything else? You need to have video. You need to have video. All right, so now let's do a quick recap here. Positioning with video before the internet and after the internet. It's TV advertising versus YouTube. It talks about TV programming versus video marketing. And it's about not selling as it was in the old days. It's about education. And by the way, when you educate and people believe it and understand it and they build a relationship with you, then they're more willing to buy your product and service. That's just the way business is being done in the 21st century. And positioning is positioning. You want to be recognized as that market leader, as that expert in your space. And an easier way to do that, an expectation, if you will, is having that videos on YouTube and on your website. Right, so what are your action steps? Well, you need to develop your education content. You got to figure out what's called screencast videos. This is the way you can create a video without having to be on there yourself. There are some people that said, I don't want to have my face on there, which, by the way, hint, get over it and do it. But there is a reason to do screencasts. What I'm showing you right now are screencasts. You're not seeing me, but you're seeing my screen. So it's very appropriate to do. So you'll need to do some of those. And you also need talking head videos. That's where just like it implies that I would be out in front, because people want to know who you are. They want to meet you. They want to get an idea whether or not they like you or not, whether or not you can build rapport and you can build trust with them. So again, that's important for you to do. You need to have a YouTube channel. You need to upload it to YouTube. And then you need to create videos for your website. We talked about that earlier on your virtual front door, and you need to embed these videos on your website. And of course, you want to establish yourself as a leader. That's what this positioning is all about. So let's do a quick recap for where we're at now. So first comes the moment of truth. Then people, once they go to your website, that's your virtual front door. When they're on your website, they're seeking out how-tos and information about solving the problem. And now we've talked about positioning by using videos to help to establish you as that person that's going to be able to solve that for them and hopefully turn them into a customer. Now, you could do all the things I've mentioned, or you could go and pick up Module 4, which is a program I built for you that's got 5 modules and it's got 2 bonuses, which I'll be talking about later lessons. But you'll learn in 5 lessons how to create and use videos to build your brand and then have your customers learn to trust, like, and buy from you. Now, if this is something that's of interest to you, there is a link below that you can click. You can go over there and take a look and see what's there, see if this is what is something for you. I've priced it so that price is off the table to make it easy. Now, if you would, I would appreciate it if you leave some comments. Is this helpful? Did it clear things up for you? Is this working? Or if you have questions, please put the questions down there, and I look at these things and I'll answer them. So stay tuned, because tomorrow will be the next lesson, and I will see you in the next video.